The English Nurse by Professor Charles Lane Olmsted. Chapter 14, The Morgue, a Gimcheon University presentation. Vocabulary: rigor mortis, rigor mortis. Algor mortis, algor mortis. Medical examiner, medical examiner. Stillborn, stillborn. Cause of death, cause of death. Time of death, time of death. Exsanguination, exsanguination. Electrocution, electrocution. Undetermined, undetermined. Coroner, coroner. Toxicology, toxicology. Embalming, embalming. Suicide, suicide. Homicide, homicide. Accident, accident. Death, death. Autopsy, autopsy. Morgue, morgue. Exhume, exhume. Decomposition, decomposition. Death certificate, death certificate. Chest plate, chest plate. Corpse, corpse. Overdose, overdose. Drowning, drowning. Accidental, accidental. Natural, natural. Brain dead, brain dead. Cremate, cremate. Prefixes, suffixes, abbreviations. Just two abbreviations. DOA, dead on arrival. COD, cause of death. Sentence patterns. They still don't have an official cause of death. I think it's suicide. They still don't have an official cause of death. I think it's homicide. They still don't have an official cause of death. I think it's accidental. My favorite singer died of electrocution. My favorite singer died of drowning. My favorite singer died of a car accident. This new case is baffling because I don't know the victim's ID. This new case is baffling because I don't know the cause of death. This new case is baffling because I don't know the time of death. 4. I would hate to be exhumed. I would hate to be cremated. I would hate to lie in the morgue. Sentences. If I die from an accident or natural causes, I do not want an autopsy. I even needed my mother's death certificate to get into college. Time of death and cause of death are important in police cases. Decomposition had already set in on my neighbor who had died 4 days earlier. They will even exhume a body 100 years later to determine cause of death. The man in 302 is brain dead, but we are waiting for his family before removing him from life support. The main difference between a coroner and a medical examiner is coroner is elected to investigate death, while ME is scientifically trained and board certified. The morgues were so crowded from the coronavirus, they put some bodies in refrigerated trucks. More men use a gun to commit suicide, while women prefer to overdose. He was shot 46 times and died from exsanguination. Once the chest plate was removed, all they saw were tumors. He knocked the computer in the tub and died from electrocution, not drowning. Some deaths in the early COVID days were listed as undetermined. The toxicology report will show it was an accidental overdose with alcohol and pills. We were ready to start the embalming when the corpse coughed, so we rushed him to ER. That was the messiest homicide with all of those knife wounds. The corpse had been at the bottom of the hill for at least 2 days. He's in full rigor mortis, so he's been dead about 4 to 8 hours. Her body isn't even cold yet, so she is barely in algor mortis, maybe 2 to 3 hours. Just cremate me and sprinkle my ashes on a baseball field. Better hygiene and conditions have lowered the stillborn rate considerably. Discussion questions. Have you ever known anyone who died? Have you ever seen anyone die? How did you feel? How did you react? If you could choose, how would you want to die? Conversation A between Elise and Eugene. Did you hear that Jin Young died? I heard. It was very sudden. No, she'd been sick for about 6 months. What was wrong with her? Cancer. Stomach pain. They operated that day. They opened her up and closed her right up. It was that severe, huh? Yes, it was in the pancreas, but it quickly spread. They originally gave her 3 months. She didn't look in pain. She wanted to see her daughter get married. They rushed the engagement. She was so happy. I would want to know, but I don't know if I would do anything different. She donated some organs, but wants to be cremated. Questions. What do you think and closed her right up means? What does gave her 3 months mean? Discussion questions. Would you want to know when or how you were going to die? If you knew the end was near, what would you do? Conversation B between Song and Mi-sung. Mr. Kim just died. Poor man. It's awful to die alone like that. Your family and friends can't visit because of the virus. I had different people stay with him the last hour. He wasn't alone. I wish I'd been there. He was an interesting man. I've been busy taking bodies to the morgue. I know, he makes the 4th today. The hazmat team is in there now cleaning, then you can take them. What is the official cause of death? Same as the others for now, pending, waiting for the autopsy to confirm COVID-19. I'll get the death certificate started. Is anyone sitting with Miss Yoon in 1404? No. I will be with her. Call me when they are ready. Thanks. We need to do this for all of them. Questions. What is a morgue? What does pending mean? Why do you think no family was allowed to see Mr. Kim in his final moments? What is an autopsy and why is it important? What do you do to preserve a dead body from decaying? Reading. Death. The leading causes of death vary from country to country, and even between genders in the same country. The top 3 leading causes of death in South Korea are the same for men and women. The top 10 deaths account for more than 70% of deaths in South Korea. The top 3, according to 2016 statistics from Korea Biomed per 100,000 population, are cancer, 188.8 for men and 117.2 for women, heart disease, 56.9 men and 59.4 women, and cerebrovascular disease, or stroke, 44.2 for men and 47.4 women. The rest are scattered, and some don't even show in the others list. The remainder of the top 10 for men are 4. Suicide, 36.2. 5. Pneumonia, 33.6. 6. Liver disease, 20.2. 7. Diabetes, 19.2. 8. Chronic lower respiratory disease, 17.1. 9. Transportation accident, 14.7. And 10. Falling, 7.5. The women are 4. Pneumonia, 30.8. Diabetes, 19.2. 6. Suicide, 15.0. 7. Hypertension disease, 14.6. 8. Alzheimer's, 13.4. 9. Chronic lower respiratory, 10.3. And 10. Blood poisoning, 8.1. Finish reading the rest of the story in the book and underline the words that you have problems pronouncing and circle those that you do not know the meaning of. Questions. What are the top 3 causes of death in South Korea? What causes of death in the top 10 deal with the heart? What 2 cancers combine for more than 80 deaths per 100,000 people for men in South Korea? Death certificates. There are 5 manners of death: homicide, suicide, accident, natural, and undetermined. There are hundreds of causes of death. Some are easy to detect. Others are not and left undetermined. Some are just classified as cardiac arrest, which says the heart stopped, but why is not totally known. Some are listed as pending on a death certificate, which is temporary as tests and or an investigation are still trying to reach a decision. Later certificates would ask how long the deceased had the illness or injury which caused death. In the old days, many people who were sick simply died at home. There were a lot fewer hospitals, and they were in the bigger cities. There was a lot less medicine and diagnosis then, too. The doctor knew you were sick, but there was little he could do. Thank you for reading the book and watching the videos, and good luck on your chosen healthcare profession.